Okay. I never know when you can truly start a live video and it's working, so I just awkwardly talk at the beginning until it says you're live, which it does. Let me just share my own live to my own event because I'm playing DJ for myself. I also used the Dyson for you guys, which was a cluster, but we did it. A little bit. I don't know. It was a rough one. It was a rough run. My cousin is applying to be a firefighter. He's already a firefighter. He wants to be more of a firefighter, and he typed his birthday that he was born in 2019. So nothing but quality. Just hearing myself twice sounds horrifying. But you guys get to hear me for the next hour. 2 seconds. Let me share this so nobody says, "Where's the link?" Think if you ask where the link is, and I have just pinned the link, I'll be so upset. Okay, and then I'm just pinning it, and then we're gonna dive right in here because I'm not trying to take up y'all's entire night. But however, right before we get started, have you guys seen this? This is exactly what I think of when people say, like, I just don't know how to write copy. It is SpongeBob when he spends like hours and hours all night writing, and he only comes up with the fancy word "the." That's what I think is happening. Let me just make sure this was working. I can hear myself though. Cool. We're going to dive right in. But if you guys are watching this and have any questions as we go along, I will be answering them as we go throughout the class. I will not be saving them to the end because I usually can't figure out where Corey made a joke and people replied to her and what is just a genuine comment. So I'll keep checking the comment section. There's Corey. She's here to annoy ya. But Corey, do you remember this SpongeBob episode where he tries to write and then he only comes up with the word "the"? That's what I feel like a ton of people feel like when we're like, hey, write copy, write better copy. What's your copy? And they're like, dude, like my copy's like buy my cookies. What is it supposed to say? How can I write more effective and compelling copy? And then honestly, what some of you guys wrote in the comments is, what is copy and why do you keep saying it? Fair question. So Tembi's here. We can now officially get started. Meredy is, yes. Corey is the twin who takes cool photos of the word "the." And Corey's pretty good at copy too. I'll give her that much. Okay, you're gonna notice that I'm actually gonna teach this class the exact same way I teach it in the Cookie College. Granted, I'll take out the parts that are a little bit more in depth, but it's going to be like a Cookie College course. Now, typically the Cookie College courses will stop at each lesson. So we'll talk about one copywriting formula, then you can click next lesson. This is obviously a Facebook Live. We're going to do it all in one fell swoop. It's not swell swoop. I had to Google it. It is fell swoop. I don't know what they mean, but I just know it means we're going to do it all at one time, and you're going to stick here with me. But this is how these Cookie College courses are taught. We'll kind of go through it, and we'll go through just some different slides, and then we'll go through a screen share, and then I got a little sneak there at the end for you. Let's continue. It's funny that everyone in the comment is like all in the Cookies College show. That's weird. You guys also have access to this course in the Cookie College. Just a heads up. But I appreciate the support. Now, every Cookie College course starts with an intro, just in case somebody doesn't know who I am. I want to make sure that I've captured their attention. I am their favorite twin. I am Heather. If you're new to Sugar Cookie Marketing, welcome. I'm one of the admins. Corey's the other admin. I'm the more favorited admin. When people tell Corey that she's the favorite, they're just trying to make her feel good, and I appreciate it. And I think that's very kind. And you know what we want in this group is just kindness. And continue telling Corey that she's your favorite. We all know what you truly believe, but please go out of your way to let her know that you know she's your favorite, right? Okay, so I'm going to take you through this course. I do more of the technical stuff, maybe more of like business management, websites, domains. I really like organization. Corey does more of the creative, so those freebie photos, that's Corey. Mostly because I can't bake. It's keeping me grounded. Corey does a lot of copy and things like that, and then she teaches the classes on more like Instagram, social media, and then photography and Lightroom editing. I'm more Photoshop editing, so you kind of you got a Lightroom twin and you got a Photoshop twin, right? As we scooch along here. As we go along, this is exactly how this would be in the Cookie College. So I always start each class with a recommendation for 2 other similar classes if you're headed down this path. So people that are typically taking classes on copy, need copy and they need to post it somewhere. So I think email marketing, we have an email marketing course on setting up Flowdesk 101. That's where you could put your great copy. And then Corey has taught a class on nailing Instagram for business. Again, copy is what I'm going to tell you about in a second. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. A copywriter is someone who creates written messages for businesses or organizations, usually with the intent to sell. That's the key. You can write a book, and that's not copy. That is literature. Copy is words or even audio that has the intent to sell something. Which, welcome to Sugar Cookie Marketing. That's their goal, is to move some crackers and cookies, right? And Max and bread, apparently, and cheesecakes and gooey cheesecakes and everything else in between. But if it moves product and generates income, welcome, copy. So you are a copywriter. Welcome to your new description. Someone asked me in the Cookie College group what's somebody I could hire out to write my copy. They're called copywriters. And you can hire this service out, but I challenge you to do it in-house. You save a little bit of money, it exercises your marketing muscles, and plus writing great copy comes in hand in a lot more places than just sales. I know Corey was trying to get her kid out of school for a sick day. Guess what? Copy. She was attempting to move her child out of school. The way you do that is you write in a way that is attuned with your target audience. So Corey's target audience would have been the principal. Your target audience will be the person you're trying to sell cookies to. That's who we're going to be talking to through typing directly in our copy. We're always talking to somebody. We never want to kind of close our eyes like SpongeBob did and just blindly type. We want to talk directly to somebody. That's the person who we say, hey, you on the other side of this camera that I'm staring at like you're my best friend right now, because you are. I'm going to need you to stay around with me for the rest of this class so we can learn how to write great copy together. That's what we're doing. We're talking to someone, whether it be through our computers or through our lenses or in the PTA line. Whatever the line is that you guys with kids have to sit in to pick up your kids for hours, which is crazy. Also, I'm so sorry. I've given up Diet Coke for a week. And I started drinking fizzy water, which tastes like static. But so far, this is my favorite so far. Hate drinking water that tastes like static. Try Bubbly Bounce, caffeinated water. So that's copy, right? No, I'm not selling you caffeinated water. I would not recommend it. I'd actually recommend Diet Coke. That actually made me happy. Heather Berkshire's here. Laura Vick's here. It's just all the college kids, you little crazy, crazy people. Quick rundown. I'm going to try to blur through this really quickly because I kind of talk fast, but I also take up too much time. I don't know how I manage both, but here's what we're going to cover today. Intro to copy, what is copywriting and why do you need it? Copy formulas, that sounds horrifying, like math. Trust me, I don't like math. You've seen my math skills anywhere. It's not math. AIDA, AIDA, that sounds horrifying. It's not. It's the formula that I actually prefer to use the most. And when you guys see Corey and I write in the group and you're like, wow, I just love your copy. You're liking this formula. You don't like anything we wrote. We're not writing anything unique. We're actually using a copy formula to write interesting copy. And we're going to work through a quick worksheet together using that formula. And then at the end, here's a little trap. I'm going to sell a Cookie College to you using copy formulas. We're going to use an additional 4. And this is actually something I've taken, whoa, nothing but quality, grammatic quality. This is something I've taken just out of Cookie College myself. It's something I've taken out of the Cookie College, and we've just tweaked it a little bit for y'all today. I wasn't going to do the rest of this, like all the other formulas, but so many of you RSVP'd, and who am I to let my adoring fans down? So let's dive into that. Writing copy, sales text, right? So when I say copy, what I'm saying is any caption above a Facebook post, any Instagram caption below a photo, even the small 150 characters you get on Instagram Reels. If you're attempting to sell something, it is copy. It's hard. It doesn't have to be, though, when you use these formulas. So, and do not get frightened here. Pythagorean theorem is like a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Sounds horrifying, but you just plug in a, b, and c, and you get the answer. Same thing with these copy formulas, but even more simple. Like trust the process here. I wouldn't like surprise you with math. That'd be horrifying. With these formulas, you'll have the knowledge to write more compelling copy. Compelling means I'm compelling someone to do something. I'm making them want to take an action, which in this case is selling our stuff, right? So we're going to run through these. I'm skipping out on the AI one. That was a slide taken from the Cookie College, where I do run everyone through an AI, artificial intelligence, copy generator called AnyWord. There are many of them. AnyWord seems to be a popular one. Jarvis, which was renamed to something because Disney sued them, is another popular one. If you guys wanted to learn more about that, you can learn about that in the Cookie College. But I'd honestly tell you, those cost money, those two apps. You can do this yourself. I trust you to know that you can do this yourself. I believe in you. I feel like I'm a Disney princess with all my one-liners. Heather said, "Whoa, professor, throwing math at us. That's all I get." That's it. It was the Pythagorean theorem. I couldn't believe I remembered it. Corey, if anybody has questions, can you make sure to repost it to me a couple times? I know Corey's like totally checked out of this. I guarantee it. I guarantee you she's not here anymore. She's like watching her dog lick his elbow or something. Okay, so what is copywriting? Copywriting is a text that goes along with a post, article, magazine ad, YouTube ad. You get the point. If it's text that has the intent to move a product or service, it's copy. Copywriting takes writing and blends it with the science of advertising to make a sale, right? So when we talk about FOMO, how am I conveying to you guys FOMO? I'm doing it through copy. That's why you hear it often in marketing and sales circles, and not so much in like a writer circle. People aren't like, "Hey, what's your next novel about?" Well, I was thinking on selling people on falling in love with, Fabio. That's not... I'm sure you could. It's not going to take a lot of copy from me, right? I'm sure you could, but when we're talking about copy, even though written word is everywhere, we are talking about written word that has the intent to sell. So, my two examples. I'm Heather. That is not copy. I'm just conveying information. That is who I am. But hey, smarty, I'm the favorite twin, and here's why you should pick me. That is copy. I have the intent to persuade and have you take an action. This is why you should pick me. Here's the 10 reasons why. When you see those articles that are like 5 things dentists don't want you to know, 4 will surprise you, that is intending you to take an action and read that article. Because guess what's on that article? There are ads, and that is how those blog writers get money. Which, hey, right, money. Moving along here. Also, just revisiting this one more time. Hey, smarty, I am the favorite twin, and here's why you should pick me. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. I have to do a little story right here. This is terrible. But I also have like a weird sinus infection, and I get it. The time that you're not supposed to have sinus infections, but my body is like, man, I'm quitting here at 33. Who needs a copy? You see the in the background that I hate Steven Singer. We are in Northern Virginia. I used to drive to upstate New York a lot, and then a couple months ago I went to Atlantic City. Did not get lucky, but there was a sign, and every time you drive on 95 North, you see this sign, "I hate Steven Singer." That's all it says. Then it has a website, IHateStevenSinger.com. That is all the sign says. There's no picture. It's in black, white text. It looks like, so my boyfriend said, "I wonder if Steven," he looked at the sign, he said, "I wonder if Steven Singer is somebody's ex-boyfriend." Because it's such a weird sign. Amongst all these sale signs, this is the only sign he made comment on. Here's the thing. 5 years ago, I already looked it up because this sign really stopped me in my tracks. Who's Steven Singer and why does somebody hate him? He's a jeweler. And his marketing campaign is that men hate him because their wives love him. So everyone hates, all these men hate Steven Singer, so they, pretend took out a billboard ad to say how much they hated him because all their wives are spending all their money on him, is what the marketing campaign says. That is copy. One, it got me interested. It got me to take an action. I actually looked it up. I wasn't driving, but it is isn't it crazy that we're not having, distracted driving is illegal except for on billboards? I think it is mind-blowing. However, this sign, if you've seen it, it is just crazy how many people make commentary on it despite all the signs. This sign and any signs about south of the border, I will comment on during a long drive. Corey and I spoke at CookieCon last year. We had a drive by south of the border twice. Nearly wrecked the car trying to turn into there. I think it is kind of closing though, which will be a sad day. Who needs copy? Anyone attempting to sell anything. Copy is absolutely everywhere. If you start realizing where copy is, you'll be horrified. Copy is at your desk. So right now I have a Blue Yeti mic I can see. This is a Sony camera. I'm talking on a Manfrotto tripod. I have a light system that is by something called Angler. I have a Logitech webcam that I can see here. I have a Dell. Oh, I have my time timer. Don't forget about that. And I have my Timular productivity, right? All these are things that I can see with logos on them, right? And to tend to sell or not, I have a gift card from Under Armour. Don't tell my mom, but I had returned something they got me for Christmas a couple years ago. This is copy. Gifts that work harder. That is copy. That is a very interesting phrase. It's not. It doesn't say gift card. That's what this is, a gift card to Under Armour. It says gifts that work harder. Once you start realizing where copy is, especially on your cell phone and on a computer, a lot of this class is copy because we'll be talking about the Cookie College. I started it with the Cookie College. We're talking about the Cookie College here. I've mentioned the Cookie College, right? It is copy. Copy has the intent to sell. So look at your desk, look at your phone, any ad that you see on Facebook, copy. Any post from a page that you follow that's intending you to show up to a restaurant or a farmer's market, copy. The paper, I don't read the paper, but headlines are copy. Any ads are copy. The news, my grandmother is obsessed with the news. If you heard us on the podcast, we talked about Diane, copy. Streaming TV, I paid for, I made a Mid-Air Disasters, my favorite show, but I paid for the season and they're still running ads on it, and that's copy. Billboards and signs, which you talk about. Menus, have you ever read the description of a menu? Corey says she's telling on my mom. I'll tell her that you also were there when you returned your stuff. Nice try, Dwayne. E-commerce shops, look at product descriptions from like JCPenney's or Macy's. Like every magazine that you get from these places has copy below each product. That's somebody's job, and that's crazy. Mailers, go check the mail, copy. Anything that's in there except for it's from the IRS. Well, I guess the IRS wants me to take an action too, right? Copy. Radio and Spotify, I do pay for Spotify, so I haven't heard a Spotify ad in years, but copy. I'm not sure what you guys are suffering through. I challenge you to upgrade your account, but that's copy. Podcast, if you listen to our podcast, user-generated style, that's user-generated content, that is copy. When we talk about cast iron, or when we talk about Bakety Bakes, or, Eddie, who's my husband, that is copy. I'm not selling my husband, okay? And the Cookie College, obviously, where we're at now is copy. South of the Boyda. Who wrote South of the Boyda with the accent? That's correct. Oh, Corey did. Are you replying to yourself? Okay, copy formulas 101. We talked about copy. We know what copy is. Heather, stop saying it. But what is a copy formula? A copy formula can also be referred to as creating persuasion. Now, not all copy formulas work everywhere, right? So there's different formulas for different places. It's your job as a copywriter, which you are, to decide which approach formula will suit your audience best, your goals and your product. Different strokes for different folks. Not everything requires one form of copy. If you have no copy formula, I'd encourage you to memorize one and then come back to another. You'll start instinctively writing in that pattern, which you see Corey and I do a lot. Different formulas focus on different goals. Copy can be designed to disrupt your visitor's routine thought process, incorporate reverse psychology, sell the fear of missing out. That's my favorite one. Sorry, quick Coke break. Highlight the most desirable behavior and tell a human story. These are all types of formulas. Now, we're covering a handful of formulas that I prefer. There are so many, and they're constantly generating new ones as people see new copy that works. Now, I was talking to Tembi about this a couple days ago. This thing I'm seeing in my inbox is that I'll get a newsletter from some company that I'd signed up for. They sold me, I don't know, whatever, and I never check their newsletters, right? But then I'll get an immediately second email that says, oops, I'm so sorry. Same company, the headline or the subject line is, oops, I'm so sorry. I guarantee, I've checked every single one of those. I'm just obsessed to see why oops, I'm so sorry worked. And I think it honestly came from an error that was made organically, naturally by Hulu earlier last year. So Hulu had a system. They sent out a newsletter, and then one of their interns accidentally clicked a button that auto-generated a weird other newsletter that wasn't intended for anybody. I don't have a Hulu account, but I think it said like your subscription is renewed. Something that got me to click on it, and then Hulu sent out another one saying like, we're so sorry, we didn't mean to send you that. And I opened up the third because I was thinking the second was kind of weird. that's my theory of where that came from. But the copy works on me every time. I will always see what you're sorry about. I am so nosy. Temi says in the comments, it happened to me again this week. I've seen it more and more. Okay, in the slide, watch what you're doing naturally. You'll read this, then you'll read this, then you'll read this, and finally this. As humans, we read left to right, top to bottom, largest to smallest. It's kind of how copy is. So really the top and first line will be our most important. And then you'll have, as you move down here, less important, less important, less important. So we always want to make sure and tell people, like, I love Laffy Taffy. I shouldn't be eating candy. I have a peppermint patty ready to go right after this class, my little treat. It'll be my 5th one today. We want copy to kind of pull us through Laffy Taffy style from the top to the bottom. The more interesting your first sentence is, the odds of you reading the next sentence are high. If I can get this sentence to capture you, high, then we can pull you down. If this sentence, I'm not sure if people think sucks is a bad word. If this sentence sucks, I'm not reading this little crappy-oly below it, right? So we have to have our copy constantly pulling us down to get us to the action. Well, you say, well, Heather, what if I just start with the action, right? That seems smart. Buy the Cookie College. See, it's too abrasive. I can't, well, you could. You could. I can't do that to you and get you to take an action. I have to bring into you, I have to get your attention. I have to make you want it, and then I have to sell you on it, and then I have to tell you how to buy it, which is actually the formula we'll be talking about this time. Corey says, you have teaching props? Yeah, it's peppermint patties. Thank you so much for asking. Brittany says, will we be able to come back to this PowerPoint later as well? Live. I'm listening as best I can, but my 8-week-old and my 8-week-year-old, good night. My 8-week-old and my 5.5-year-old are getting too loud. Brittany will be pinned. You'll have access to this PowerPoint. This is all in the Facebook Live. You are good. I'll also upload it to YouTube as well. Good night. I should focus on the class. Okay, kids, this is it. This is a formula that Corey and I use the most. And I find that when we use it, you guys say, wow, I really like your copy. Can I save it? Yeah, you can, but actually you can do it yourself. AIDA, A-I-D-A. Now listen, I have zero idea. I know this copy formula, but I have zero clue if somebody actually pronounces it AIDA or A-I-D-A. So I would not go into your social circles and start saying this. I have no idea. I've only ever typed it. Sure, you take that little tip. If people are making fun of you, do the other one. They don't say AIDA and they say AIDA. I don't know. But this formula describes the necessary number of tasks that are required to move a customer from awareness, like, hey, I didn't know you existed, but you got my attention, to, you got my attention, I'm ready to reach into my wallet. So pretend that you haven't heard of the Cookie College. Okay. I'm going to say like something about the Cookie College to get you interested. I'm going to intrigue you a little bit more. I always think of that, Leonardo DiCaprio, you have my attention. That's this thing. So if somebody starts the first sentence and they turn into Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm like, you have my attention. We're doing the right thing. Attention, we capture the attention of the audience in the first sentence. Like I said, that first sentence is important. And the second, and this isn't necessarily by sentence, but you'll see that we'll do it by sentence, is we want to develop the attention. Okay, we want to go from like, okay, and then we want them to want it. Okay, well then how do I buy it? And that's how we attach the action. So we have attention, interest, desire, action. That's an acronym, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, then action. And it's why I like this copy formula so much, because it's pretty succinct, but we get everyone through a funnel. So, I talk about funnels all the time. Corey says, stop messing up, I'm embarrassed. I cannot help it, clearly. I'm talking faster than my brain thinks. But I have right here, I'm going to take you through this class. I'm going to sell you on the Cookie College through these different copy formulas, but I want to point out how I'm going to do it. I've made more this month than I made last quarter. Wish you could say this about your business? Okay, that's the attention. First, I started with, I've made more this month than I've made the entirety of last quarter. Okay, if you're in the sugar cookie marketing group, that should get your attention, because that's why we're all there, is to make more income. If I start with that copy, you'd be like, okay, I'm interested. The same way, like Merity, if she's still in the section, she was like, here's how I made a ton of money egging yards. I don't know what egging yards is, but I know what making a ton of money is, or at least I like to. Let me take her Facebook Live. It's why her Facebook Live, it got rescheduled. We'll reschedule it, but it's why it has over 1,000 people RSVP to it because of the way she sold that first line. Nobody knows what egging yards is. Merity's added a lot of value in the group. She's made a lot of people a lot of money. So you know that whatever she's about to tell you is going to be good, so you want to be there for it. Wish you could say this about your bakery business? So now I'm talking directly to you. Wish you, not wish y'all, like you, right? You. What if you had a trained marketing team showing you exactly how they created a six-figure business using this exact workflow? Okay, so first we started with the attention with like, I've made more money this week than I have in my whole life. Then we moved on to interest. Like, what if you had a team of marketing people who did this to create a six-figure marketing agency, and they're going to tell you everything they know? Okay, I'm interested. Come on. Join over 500 people who signed up for the Cookie College and Marketing Mastermind and membership with over 50 plus marketing courses taking you step by step through marketing that works. That's the desire. You're joining other people. Other people bought this. You should buy this. Other people wanted this, so you should want this, right? Well, if you don't want it, do you not want to make money? Do you not want to be successful? Right? And then we come with the last thing, action. Sign up today at thecookiecollege.com and get your marketing working for you. See? Like sweaty. That took me through the entire funnel. You haven't heard of the Cookie College. Here is the Cookie College, and here's why it works. Look at all the people who've bought it as well. Here's how you can buy it. That is the AIDA approach to copy, and why I really like it, because it is intense. At the end, I'm like sweaty and reaching for my wallet. This type of copy does work well, especially if I have spent a lot of time providing you value. It's just that last little cincher that says, get it. Now, you probably see this type of copy on an ad that I promised Corey I'd have up this week, but it's looking more like next week. So brace your towel for that. Let's see. Brittany says egging yard gets you so much money. See, even Brittany Krause is selling us on a Facebook Live that hasn't even happened yet. She just wrote that. I feel like I need to take it as well. What did Frank say? It sounds like my dating life. Frank is hilarious. Okay, scooting along right here. We're going to do this live together. I have a Word document. Again, this is a Facebook Live, so everything is recorded. You'll have access to this after. But I always believe, like, let's think on paper. Nothing stays in my brain anyway, so I do think on paper, but we're going to do it together. We're going to work on a Word document that allows us to exercise our copy muscles and understand the AIDA formula. Hold on, Patty's got a question. Sorry, I didn't hear if you said it. Did Merity use copy formula specifically to write this? I know if it's, I'm just wondering if it's for sure. Maybe she's a good writer. I'm going to say that Merity is just a good writer, although she is in the Cookie College and maybe she took my course. But no, I have no idea. I think Merity also had a bunch of things working for her. She's added a ton of value. You like the Cinnabon one, the cinnamon bun thing, like made a ton of people a lot of money around Christmas. And then she said egging yards. And then her hook was, I've made a ton of money doing this. It's just, I mean, it's really amazing copy. Whether she intended it or not, it worked. And if she didn't, then she's a naturally born copywriter, but we can all learn to be that, Patty. Corey. Hey, Corey. There's another Corey. Finally, and a Corey that I like. Just kidding. I like my twin sister. Okay, excuse me. Yes, I am using Microsoft Word. Let's travel back in time for a minute. I love Microsoft Word. We're going to write copy using formulas. So, like I always say, copy. What am I doing? You have to have a goal. Oh, I'm selling cookies. Like, no, like drill the goal down. Like, okay, we're selling cookies, obviously, but like, what exactly do we want this post, this copy to do? Well, I want to sell everything I make. That's too broad. We got to refine it. Who are we talking to? Everyone. No. Who exactly are we talking to? Who's on the other side of the camera right now? I'm talking to Laura Vick. Laura. She's already in the Cookie College. You can't talk to her. Somebody who isn't in the Cookie College. Look at me in the eye sockets. Do you want to make more money with your business? Do you feel like your business is swallowing you whole? Do you feel like you are overwhelmed with the day-to-day admin stuff that you don't even have time to bake? Join the cookie college. That's who I'm talking to. I know that seemed like a hard sell, but we're just getting into character, right? Okay, so with the AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action formula, we want a broad goal. Oh, I want to sell more Easter cookies. Okay, that was good. We narrowed it down from I want to sell everything I've ever made to I want to sell Easter cookies. Can we refine it a bit more? The more refined your goal, the more your copy will make sense to that specific target. It would be hard for me to talk to single women. Like I have no children. Corey has a kid. If you want to say like, hey, people with children and without children, it's too broad. You're making that post work a little too hard. We can make one post for people with kids. I'm going to tune it out. But guess what? You'll make another post for people without kids, and I'm going to tune back in. I'm going to get you. I want you to talk to people with pet snakes. Now that's going to target me directly. Just kidding. But people who are in the cookie college with snakes. Just kidding. So my broad goal is I want to sell more Easter cookies. My refined goal is I want to sell more Easter cookie platters. And my defined goal is I want to sell exactly 5 more. Now, if we could tier that down a little more, I'd actually talk to a very specific person. So let's do this. Defined. I'm going to type a lot of things wrong. Just forgive and pretend I spelled them right. Target audience. Parents of kids that are having an Easter get together. I'm going to assume that's 2 words. We're going to just roll through that one. Patty said, LL, yes, I want you to make me suffer from FOMO. That's exactly what FOMO is. Fear of missing out. Fear is a negative emotion. If I can, and this sounds manipulative, but all sales copy is, if I can invoke in you a fear of people want to get away from fear, right? We want to protect ourselves. If I fear that I'm going to miss out on something, on an opportunity or the cookie college, I will take an action. That's how FOMO works. Scooching right through here. So we have our defined target audience. I want to sell 5 more Easter platters to my defined target audience, parents of kids that are having an Easter get together. That's darn specific. And that's what we want in our marketing. I know that people said, but what about other people? What about people with no kids? We'll get them in another ad. We'll get them in another post. We'll get them in another email, which is why having really dialed in CRM, customer relations management, that says these are parents and these are not would be so strong, right? Writing the copy. So back to our formula A, how am I going to get their attention? We're just going to do this together. I'm going to say, I want to sell 5 more Easter platters. What if I only say, I only have 5 more Easter platters. So okay, that might get my attention. We're working with FOMO there. Let's keep going. Let's keep brainstorming. This is just brainstorming, no wrong answers. If you guys want to think in the comments, Rose Fink Thomas is here. She's a doll, also in the cookie college, you crazy folk. As we're brainstorming here, there is no wrong answers. How am I going to get their attention? I only have 5 more Easter platters. I sold out last year. Easter platters are my highest seller. Okay, how else? Easter is only X days away. My last day for orders is in a week. Now, I have clearly no concept of when Easter is. I think it's April 17th. You guys can tell me when Easter is, but we're just brainstorming here. It's just an example I took. How will I build more interest? Corey says she only bought 5 boxes, so she can only sell 5. That's a good one. Let's add that. Corey, keep helping me build these. I only bought 5 boxes. How will I build more interest? So let's pretend those ones are my attention. Or people love my Easter platters. The cutest thing that'll be on the Easter dinner plate. I don't know, what do you call it when people, the Easter table? I don't know. We're going to just run with it. How will I build more interest? Okay, April 17th, Tempe and Corey, April 17th. So let's pretend this is maybe 2 weeks out that we're writing this from Easter. How will I build more interest? I really like this one. I sold out last year. Kind of makes me think like, oh yeah, that'd get me interested. Custom names or nameplates, like if you guys do like a custom nameplate for something so it's easy. Adorable and cookie photos, cookie themed Easter photos, Just building up. Again, brainstorm sessions, they're just kind of like whatever like hits the cranium, right? Corey, got any ideas? I wasn't going to do Easter, but you all back. That's a great one. Okay, I like that one. We're going to add that one here. How do I create a want in my audience? These are where you kind of get those buzzwords like sale, discount, first come, first poof, discount, first come, first serve, first come, first serve, selling out. These are all ways that people are like, oh my goodness, I want it. I want it. Perfect for photos, perfect for nameplates. I'm kind of just making this up. I don't even think Corey sells Easter platters. Liz says she's so late, I'll have to watch it again later. Liz, I'll be here. I may not be here in person, but I'll be here in replay spirit and where they can take action. Okay, we're talking about funnels here. I know you guys like to say, well, if you DM me when the 3 planets align and you can't pay in cash, you can't pay Venmo, you have to pay in cash, but only when the unicorn crosses the road. Like, you have to keep your funnel pretty short. So what I want to do is like order here. Hungry? You got it. Place an order right here. DM me to order ASAP. First come, first serve. Click this link. You guys can see what we're doing. So this is not fully formed, but we just want to come up with the ideas that we can come back through. How am I going to get their attention? I only have 5 more. I only bought 5 boxes. Let's do this. One to make a splash. No one to make. there's a pun there about hopping. I'm just not there mentally. One to make. Want to hop into Easter with the best dish at the family reunion. I don't know, do people do family reunions? I love asking questions in this first sentence because it really kind of gets their attention. So if you're going to see any copy that I write using this formula, it's going to start with a question. Corey, can you post the copy you wrote that were driving people to take this class earlier today? Because you started it with problem, agitate, solution, or before and after bridge. 2 different formulas we'll talk about in a second, but she got those questions that resonate with the audience. Don't know what to bring to Easter this year? Boo, I got you. Okay? Chocolate lovers, move aside. We have cookies. Okay, just kind of keeping this. Leave the eggs at home. Bring the cookie dough. These are all things that would get me to read. Bring the cookie dough. Stuff like that. So Corey's going to get that copy and we're going to come back through it. Okay, how will I build more interest? Now, I really like the FOMO stuff. My last day for orders this week. I'm going to move you down here. And I sold out last year. I like these ones. These are all pretty FOMO-y, so I'm going to move them down to the interest. Do you have to have FOMO here? No. But we can do this one if you said like something like order from a baker who was featured on XYZ News. I don't want to brag, but apparently my cookies do. Okay, that's like, okay. Well, maybe you're full of yourself, but I want to be full of those cookies, right? So we're just kind of building this up. We started with, hey, can I get you to read the first sentence? Can I get you to read the second sentence? So if they're not going to read the second sentence, they'll never read the third. That's something to keep in mind. So if we can't build interest here, we can't build interest here. Like if you can't get this one working, don't bother writing the rest of these. So I know it seems abrasive. Regina said, first class I've taken, apparently the copy worked. Laura says, hop right in with the best dish in town. Puns, man. Puns get my attention as well. I'm going to add that one right here. Match the formatting, and then we're going to come back down. How can I create a want? Perfect for photos, perfect for nameplates. Corey posted a hyperlink, but I'm going to actually pull this in here. Corey wrote this earlier today, and it kind of introduces, sorry for the lingerie photos. I thought this was the safer work group. Hate writing captions, don't know what to say, wish you had some guidance. Look at the emojis she did as well. First, she did a left hand, right hand, and then so it escalates. Even her emojis are escalating us to read each next sentence. Then she has a check emoji. Here is your solution. So this is before and after bridge formula, which we'll talk about in a second. Join Heather Miracle tonight with Writing Great Copy in the Cookie College. She'll show you the ropes when we use writing copy for ourselves and our clients. You see how the copy brought us down using the Laffy Taffy to read the next. And then she has obviously the action thing at the end. This will give you a writing formula and a glimpse into, notice she just didn't write the Cookie College, she hyperlinked to how to buy it. You guys see this right here, right? You see this right here. You see it. I was supposed to sell a Cookie College in this course that I had to. And then where they can take action. That's exactly what Corey did there. Most of this copy will end in a point to have somebody take action. Does all your copy have to end in that? Absolutely not. But I want to make sure that we're doing more around 80, 20, 70, 30. Predominantly large amount of your copy tells somebody how they can purchase from you. The memes don't necessarily need like that. You can do it sometime, especially when the meme's going to land. But we want to definitely tell people how they can buy from us. So I've already prepped us. I have this website right here. I'm gonna copy and paste this and put this in the chat. I love this website to search for emojis, but I have my emojis all right here. This, like I said, if you saw Corey's post, allows us to kind of make copy readable. I am a huge emoji overuser. But to me, if I see a bunny rabbit, I know what's coming next is going to be Easter or I'm selling bunnies. It's going to be one or the other. And if you're selling bunnies, I'll buy them. And if you're selling Easter cookies, I'll rate it. So let's build this out. So we're going to take our little formula here. I'm just going to put this stuff up here so we can reference it. I just want you guys to be able to see it. 4 G beep. And let me grab this last little guy hanging up here. How will I build more interest? So that stuff up there, the brainstorming session was allowing us to think a little bit more creatively, especially if we're like SpongeBob and we're like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I can go back and pull some of these things. The eggs at home, we're just gonna do that one. And we're gonna add this egg emoji. Leave the eggs at home, bring the cookie dough. Cool. Got one space there because you have to have correct spacing. It looks funny and weird. Okay. Forgive the terrible puns. Okay, if I read the first line, am I going to read the second line? T. Brizzy Chaps in the comment section. He's also in the Cookie College of Christ, people. Let me see what Patty said. I love it when hyperlinks are provided. I don't want to hunt it down, and I hope that I found the correct thing. Patty actually brings up a great point. Hyperlinks shorten our funnel. If all I said to you guys, hey, you can find more about me by Googling Heather Miracle. Don't Google Heather Miracle. There's nothing about me there. There's Miracle Ear shows up a lot. And there's a Heather Miracle in Kentucky where our last name comes from. And she's doing very well as a nurse. That is not me. However, if I said, hey, in my copy, www.websiteorderform.com is how you can place your order. That is a lot shorter funnel than I'm making somebody hunt and search to place their order with me. Patty, great point. Okay, let's build this out. Leave the eggs at home, bring the cookie dough. Let's change this to, I'll bring the good cookie dough. No need to search for great desserts this year. Now that's a weird sentence, but it would make me read it. But it makes sense. Leave the eggs at home, I'll bring the cookie dough. No need to search for great desserts this year. Play on words about searching for eggs in the yard. We're talking about eggs. We have the bunnies, so we know it's about Easter. Okay. Forgive the terrible puns. Now let's go back up to our building interest. How can I build more interest? Corey nailed it with this one. I wasn't going to do Easter, but you all begged. Or egged. We're going to do little corny puns here, and I know they're annoying, but we got a lot to fight against in a newsfeed, right? If you think, well, that's really stupid, great. I hope it's stupid enough that someone reads it, because there's a lot of great information that gets lost in the feed because it's not engaging. It's not compelling. It's great information, don't get me wrong, but it's just boring. We are a short-sighted scroll generation. On TikTok, if you don't get my attention in the first three seconds, I keep scrolling. I uninstalled TikTok to break my addiction. You can listen to that on the podcast. But what I'm saying is, even TikTok's algorithm doesn't reward you if you don't catch people in the first 3 seconds. You are penalized by not hooking people in the first 3 seconds. So that first ever 11 lines got to do the most work of all the copy. Truncation, you've heard about it on the podcast as well. Probably right about here. Let's see, I'm going to post this to my personal Facebook page. I promised everyone if they wanted to friend me this year, they could, and I would be better about posting. I've been terrible. Last year I made 2 posts. So we're going to post this right here. I'm going to post this. I want to show you something. This is just a test on truncation. Okay, so I'm going to post this. Sorry, the people that are friends with me. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when we go to my feed. Darn it, it didn't truncate it. Oh, there's Corey's kid crying when my parents left. Hilarious. Maybe Corey can screenshot it because I can't make my own post truncate. But let's go. I'm going to just go to my home feed and I'm going to show you truncation. Corey making posts. So you see this Seymour. Now Rose posted this in the Cookie College. This is intense, Rose. I'll have to read this one. But you see this truncation right here. I'm so sorry for the people. Frank is political. I'm so sorry. As a pilot, I meant. So what we're going to do is continue on here and not get political, Frank. But I want to show you that truncation. If this is all you could read, would you keep reading? Would you click see more? Corey says, like my post. I'm so sorry, I've left. I'll go back. Leave the eggs at home. I'll bring the cookie dough. No need to search for great desserts this year. That is going to be our first A. Now we're going to develop our I, our interest. Okay, forgive the terrible puns. I wasn't going to do Easter this year, but you all begged or egged. I digress. Let's drop that. We need to get very close. I sell out of these each year, so I'm pretty safe in saying they're well loved by the community, the cookie loving community. If you want to kind of delve into that a little bit better, we've made anybody who likes us a part of a community, and people love to be a part of a community because we're humans and we like connection. It's a little advanced one. So that's going to be our A. Then let's go to our D. How can we desire? But listen, I am only going to make 5 platters this year. Only because I mistakenly ordered only 5 boxes. But my mistake is your gain if you place an order today. Heads up, I typically always sell out of these, and I'm not here to break any hearts or eggs for that matter. Okay, so now let's reassess what we're doing here. You know me, I think we should grab a little emoji. I've been trying to sneak my emojis mid-sentence so they're not always at the left. Temmie says no truncation, so our truncation, we got a little bit more elbow room, which makes those 2 first sentences pretty important. If this gets my hook, but you get all the information you need here, you're not going to expand the Seymour, right? So I got to keep these 2 pretty interesting. Well, Heather, what if I don't want them to have to click see more? It's an algorithm manipulation. And the more that they engage with the comment, or the post by clicking see more, the more we get out of them. Let's go back. I'm going to add one last image here. Pretty safe. They're well loved by the cookie community. I'm going to go, if you guys saw my little link up here, I'm going to show you how much I love this website. Is it perfect? By no means. It actually doesn't have all the emojis, but it has most of them. Heart. And we're going to grab this guy, and I'm going to put that right here. I'm pretty safe in saying. Heart Eyes says to me somebody loves something. Okay, I have my AIDA, but listen, I'm only going to make 5 of these platters this year. You're only making 5? Well, I didn't think I wanted them, but now I want them because I don't want to miss out. I have a desire now. Only because I mistakenly only ordered 5 boxes, but my mistake is your gain if you place an order today. Heads up, though, I typically, always sell out of these, and I'm not here to break any hearts or eggs for that matter. Again, heavy in the puns. We wanted to keep it up, lighthearted, upbeat. Wow, I was getting this mixed up. Of course, it's so many trunks. Okay, now we need to end with our A, our action, our last A, AIDA. But hurry or hop. So again, with my puns, over to my order form, because first come, first serve. I pick no favorites except for, what's a famous bunny? We're just gonna do famous bunny. Please do not pull up anything that is inappropriate. Ugh, I'm just gonna barely scroll down before, there's gotta be a Disney bunny out there that's famous, right? Goodness, could there be any more ads on this website? What is the most famous rabbit? Oh. Okay, well, nobody cared to make that creative. Except for Cottontail Rabbit. I don't know. He's my fave. And grab one of these delicious egg platters on my site. And then I would put right here, www.orderhere.com, right? Do not make this hard for people to order. The more hoops you make people hop through, there's my puns again, the more hoops you make people hop through, the longer your funnel is and the more people will drop out of it. It is a guarantee. That is how sales work. If we got them all the way to down here, and right here you have about 50 steps to place an order, buddy, my friend, Cottontail Rabbit. No, you gotta shorten that up. If you're like, well, Heather, I don't have a point of sale system and I don't have a way to take payment, I only do cash. No, you sign up for Venmo Business. It's free. You will pay the small Venmo fee, but it is worth it because I guarantee you're losing more sales than that 3.25 charge. Corey said, do you live under a rock? I don't know. Does Cottontail Rabbit? Roger Rabbit. That's what I want. Bugs Bunny is who I was thinking of. Thank you, Kaylana. Nobody knows who Cottontail Rabbit, Bugs Bunny. Perfect. Disney's going to sue me now, I know. But that's what we want. So let's go back through, and then I'll run through this. I only have 10 minutes left to cover the rest of this. Samantha has a great point. IG doesn't allow links. I use link in bio. Perfect one. I actually want to show you guys, Linktree is an option, but also Corey's new thing is to push everyone to our Instagram. So go follow that. But I'm going to also show you our Instagram, whatever, the Sugar Cookie Marketing Instagram. So you got here a little pun right there, but here's a link right here. And I like these Linktree alternatives because look what I can do. All these links are in my bio now. So my single link in bio allows me to put a bunch of links in bio. Join the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook group, join the Cookie College, the new baking group, so just an alternative. Also, go follow Sugar Cookie Marketing _ putting the link in the comments. Corey, are you happy now? Great. Dink. Back to my PowerPoint. So that is how we'd approach this. And I kept my emojis here. I do post these in the Cookie College. Now I'm hard selling. Just wait until you see the rest of this class. But I like to keep them because I like to kind of drip them in here. Even though, I also like to add that right hand emoji here. Let's add more of these. Okay, we're going to add you. And then that would be our copy. So let's see what that looks like on Facebook, because we got to see the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. We should just post this in the Sugar Cookie Marketing group. Sugar Cookie Marketing group. Excuse me. And then we're going to post this here. Oh, looks pretty. It looks pretty good. Now, would I just leave this here? Well loved. Okay. Excuse me, Grammarly. Cookie loving community. Mistakenly. Okay, it's fine. And then we're going to grab a photo. Now, excuse me. I know I was posting the sales thread today. Sugar cookie classes. I'm just going to grab something Corey has for Easter. I know. Oh, this is cute. Okay, so now let's go through. We have A, I, D, A. Great. I'm going to change this one because Corey said I have to sell a cookie college. Excuse me. To www.thecookiecollege.com. Now, people are going to say, what in the world are you talking about, Heather? Great. Now, one thing I like to do is add some additional spacing. I love me some line breaks, and that's going to add to my truncation. And we got a cute little post here. I love it. I love it. I'd hate that Google does, or Word does this. Okay, cool. I'm going to click post. Cool. You guys can go see how that performs if you'd like. We're going to go back to my PowerPoint. Excuse me. the Cookie College. So we're going to take you through selling the Cookie College to you through copy formulas. I know, right? Little did you know. But why not learn by example? Let's continue on. Now this is a one, and I'm going to run through these. I'm so sorry I've taken up so much of your guys' time, but let's talk about it. And a lot of value in a short period of time. I can talk fast enough. You've heard me on the podcast. 4C's formula is one I also really like. We have clear, concise, compelling, and credible. That's all we need to cover. You see that there's not necessarily a call to action. That's not what this formula is trying to accomplish, right? That's why I tell you different formulas, different strokes, different folks. There's going to be a formula for different use cases. So join the Cookie College today and lock in 2021 pricing for a year while we show you how to better market your business online along with 500 other like-minded bakery owners. So what's clear? Join the Cookie College. That is pretty clear. What I need you to do is right there at the front. Is it concise? Lock in the 2021 pricing for a year. This is all one sentence. That's as concise as I can get it. Could I probably trim up the words a little bit? Yeah, but I wanted to get all of these. Is it compelling? I said, learn how to better market your business. I also mentioned lock-in pricing. If you buy into the Cookie College this year, I can't, through Stripe, raise the price on you. So that is one. You're locking in pricing against my will. I'm just kidding, maybe. But learn how to better market your business. And then is it credible? Yes, 500 other people took this action. Why wouldn't you want to? 500 other people think it is worth their money. Shouldn't you think it's worth your money too? Applying this to your cookies, it's when I said, hey, I always sell out of these. There's a lot of people that must buy from me if I always sell out of them. I'm adding credibility to my copy. When I say things like on our cookie classes, I'll say the Easter classes hurt a little bit, but we typically sell out about 10 to 15 days before the class goes up. I write that in my copy. Hey, just so you know, purchase your ticket ahead of time because we typically sell out 10 to 15 days and I don't want anyone to get upset. That is credible. Enough people buy this that I sell out. So things like that to keep in mind. As we're scooching through here, Stephanie says, you remind me of that girl from Pitch Perfect. Stephanie! That's who I want as this Christmas. Why can't I think of her name? I went as her for Christmas. Nobody got it, but I thought I looked like her too. Samantha says, why do you use formatting for the post? That is a great question. In Facebook groups, I can add a lot more formatting. Let me pull up my Facebook page again. We're going to go to the... go to Cookie College. In Facebook groups, we get a lot more formatting ability than we get on Facebook pages, right? So if I go to the discussion, I'm going to write here, this is a test. I can bold text. I can also add italics. This is going to have people focus on things. Now, I think I wrote a copy here the other day. I think I wrote it on media types. That sounds like a sleeper post. It was. But let's bring up myself. And here is what I posted. Good night, most recent. Excuse me. Okay, I want to show you this. Lord. It's right here. So here's what I was talking about, media types. And now we can use, look what I can use to kind of draw people's eye into here. Sleeper diagram, hold the melatonin tonight, I got you fam. That's a form of copy. That was a really abrupt sentence that says, hey, this is boring. But as a good marketer, you need to know your media types. I have a bolding and then I break it down by this. Now this post I wrote earlier today, I did on my phone where I don't have formatting options. All I can do is spacing. And you see how this becomes almost a wall of text? Versus this is a lot more intriguing to read right here because I can break it up. That's why I like formatting. So that is my 4 C's. Scooching along here. Think. Oh, yeah. And then I was going to sub in the Cookie College. What is the Cookie College? If you don't know what I've been talking about this whole time, you're not alone. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. The Cookie College is a month-to-month membership plan that gets you access to 50 plus courses just like this one. In fact, this is a course that I've taken out of the Cookie College to teach you guys today, in a private Facebook group, which I just pulled up, where you can learn with 500 other like-minded people. You see that? You see that little compelling credibility? Dive in for a month, snag all that you need. You can cancel at any time. In fact, if you pay for a month, if you go month to month, you can cancel anytime for a prorated refund. There's very little risk. And I like to think a lot reward. Corey says this is her baby child. She's invested a lot of her time in it, and I have to agree. Just one class takes me about 10 hours to record and film and prep for and upload, but I figure they're very value packed. No one's complained yet. There's no contract, and you can cancel anytime with a prorated refund or sign up for the year and get 2 months free. So fun, a little bit of a discount there, a little bit of a FOMO thing. I can't raise the price, you know how it is. Let's see, why do you dress up like people for Christmas except for me, baby Jesus? I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I love it. Okay, another one. Problem, agitate, solution. Now, this one I really like because it's kind of, have you ever watched an infomercial? And first it starts off with a common thing we all hate. Specifically what's in my mind is like eggs sticking to the pan. Like, I don't know, that's a thing. But then all of a sudden it gets gray. The infomercial gets gray, and it's like crazily over exaggerated. How it's like, well, that's wild. That's never what I thought. I was telling people in the cookie college, I have this funky ergonomic mouse. I know I have to keep everything in my same frame. So this is a funky mouse. You hold it like this, right? You see how my wrist is so relaxed. So I was telling people, like, the thought process is like, hey, do you want to prevent wrist pain? Do you want to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome? Then buy this Logitech mouse. Like, that is how you say, hey, do you have wrist pain? Yeah, I have wrist pain. Do you want carpal tunnel syndrome down the road? Well, I just had wrist pain. I don't want carpal tunnel. Then you need this Logitech ergonomic mouse, yours for the low price of $49.95. That's how that kind of works. So we take a problem, like a typical problem. Hey, don't know where to find your marketing tips designed for bakers? Feeling like your marketing is falling behind? Join the Cookie College. 50 courses to help you master the basics of online marketing in the step-by-step classes you can take at your own pace. So we took a problem that's pretty typical. Hey, don't know where to find marketing tips for bakers? Do you feel like your marketing is falling behind? Well, that escalated, but that is problem, agitate, solution. So we take a problem, we figure out what the pain point is. Don't know what to bring to Easter this year? Where you're going to show up with something nobody likes? I just didn't know what I was bringing, and now nobody's liking it. Don't worry, I got you with my Easter platters. Bonus, they're on sale right now. So you get how we're like, whoa, oh, that's problem, agitate, solution. Corey's, I do not know what you guys are talking about. Temmie says she likes problem, agitate, solution. It's pretty great because that first line is the hook. Because we're saying, do you have a problem? Hey, God, we all have problems. Does your snake not eat its food? Is your snake going to starve to death? Buy the snake food that everyone likes. I had to feed my steaks yesterday. Watching the Circle of Life play out in front of me is nothing you want to know. Nothing you want to see. I'm new. Is the Cookie College too advanced for me? Why some topics bridge the more complex side. Thank you. The Cookie College is designed for a bakery or caterer. Temmie, that's for you, buddy. That's for you. Or any skill set to learn to sell more effectively online. If you're not currently taking orders and don't plan to in the next year, yeah, I'd probably say like hard pass on the Cookie College and stick in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. Get that free stuff. We have a bunch of lives you can rewatch. We have only over 100, and at each of them registering at over an hour. That's over 100 hours. Good luck. But if you plan to monetize your bakery by the summer, I'd recommend jumping into the college in the near future. If not now, if you've already monetized, means that you've started selling, and you'd like to sell more effectively, Cookie College is going to be a great fit for you right now. Fuji. Okay, before after bridge, this is how Corey, let me scroll back up and grab that copy so we can use it as an example. Oh, Corey, can you repost it again? It's too high in the comment section. I can't find it. Watch Corey have left already. Before after bridge. So before we have somebody with a problem, after we're going to tell them what it's like on the other side of the bridge. And then we're going to tell them how to get there. So let's take it back to the Cookie College. Feeling stuck in your home bakery? I feel stuck, like everyone's stuck. It's hard. Not sure if you should be on TikTok, and what the heck are Reels anyways? I don't know. I do have TikTok, but I don't know how to make them. Imagine a mastermind group dedicated to helping you navigate the ever-changing marketing landscape. Oh, that would be really nice. Like that would be really nice. Okay, by joining the Cookie College, we can work together to nail your marketing goals in 2022. Here's the before. Yeah, you have a lot of problems. Imagine a world with no problems. Here's how to get to a world with no problems. If the problem, agitate, solution wasn't it, let's walk across the bridge of potential. Now, this is more of an upper. This is more like, hey, you have a problem, which could be negative, but we're going to bring you up to a better alternative. If you don't like negativity on your page, this is the copy formula for you. Because problem, agitate, solution, PAS, took us to like, do you have a problem? Here's it worse. Also, here's the solution. This one's like, hey, do you have a problem? Here's your world without that problem. Let me help you get to it. So we had more of like a positive spin. Determine where your audience is now. It has to be lower than where you want them to be. Don't know what to bring to Easter? How about a platter that everyone's guaranteed to love? I can make that platter for you. Just place your order over here. So you kind of get that. Like here, I don't know what to bring to Easter dinner. Here's something that it'll be guaranteed to delight. Everybody loves them. And here's how you can place your order today. Kind of have that smile while you're talking too. Corey grabbed this one. Now she went and did that before after bridge, which Heather had posted. Heather posted somewhere. Here she said, testing myself, the above copy is before and after bridge. I'm halfway through the course on copy and my math brain, so I'm struggling. Nailed it. Hate writing captions, don't know what to say, wish you had some guidance? Join Heather tonight with a writing great copy in the Cookie College and she'll show you the ropes we use when writing copy for ourselves. This will give you a great writing formula and a glimpse into whatever. I think she meant to tag me, and Facebook's not letting her tag me, thank God. But you kind of get that, like, here's your life without it, here's your life with it, and here's how to get it. Really like that one. Closing out of this, I'll stop asking Corey to post it. Scooching along here. Okay, what's included in the Cookie College? Great question. Allow me to answer. The second you register, you get access. I think we have 48 courses. I have a course dropping tomorrow or Saturday. You get the freebies that Corey constantly always tempts the main group with. The photos, the DIY kits and stuff like that. Product reviews, because Corey spends a lot of money, so why should the rest of us? And how-tos. Corey has bake-alongs. I have courses on like some how-to things. New courses are added every month, usually between 3 and 4, so you always get those. I announce them at the beginning of each month so you know what's coming. In fact, after this class, like I said, I'm recording a course on using cloud storage, specifically Google Drive, to organize your business. Again, so I like to touch on marketing, I like to touch on business management, and then I like to kind of do a crowdsourcing one. I think next month we're doing a WordPress website. To be asked about one. As soon as I get to my spreadsheet to make sure that you've actually joined the Cookie College, you get access to that Facebook group, which is a pretty cool Facebook group. What we didn't expect, we expected people to join it, but we just didn't expect that everyone would give so much to each other, which was pretty awesome. Here's the Facebook group. You have these tags right here. If I click on freebie photos, Corey's tagged all her freebies. You get all these, and she tells you everything on what you need to buy it. So you can post this to your page. If somebody places an order, if you sell 10 of these because you used an amazing copy, you can go buy the cutters from here. This stuff as well, freebie photos. She did these for Mardi Gras. So pick and choose. These were for Tuesday, right? I did not send the newsletter, but here's Elizabeth Toth. She's teaching live. She also gave stuff to the Cookie College. Corey, more football stuff. People giving away memes and stuff. It's all hilarious. Love it, love it, love it. As we scroll through here, we have Wednesday wins. I want to talk about announcements and digital downloads. So usually I tag these. Here's the things that I kind of announce here. Anything that's going on in the Cookie College. Every month you get the digital downloads, which we sell digital downloads by themselves, but you can also get it. I know there's course announcement in here somewhere, but I must be blind. Anyways, I haven't pinned at the top. You're back here. Click on discussion. Right here you see what's coming out. Course update. Talked about Canva. I do a Facebook Live every other Monday. Copywriting formulas. That's why you guys are listening to this one. February digital downloads. Corey's engagement pods, accountability, and things like that. And here's the upcoming events that will be announced. As we scroll through here, we just have a bunch of content, freebies, people talking about cool stuff like that. But here is the engagement pod. So every Tuesday and Thursday is an Instagram and Facebook engagement pod where everyone works together to boost that engagement. Okay, enough with the temptation. Let's continue on to my copy formulas. And Corey's rebrand. I guess I'll have to do that. You're never late, Bobby. You're not late. But you can always rewatch this. This will be pinned in here. Okay, storytelling formula. This one, I actually cleaned out my inbox. It's another class I taught, so I don't have any examples, but have you ever gotten those emails are really long, and it's like somebody saying, I was once like you. I struggled too. And then one day the sun rose and I had a realization. That is storytelling. It's a long form type of copy, but it really gets people involved. You know what's a great use of storytelling formula? Those Meet the Baker posts. You can just post a photo of yourself and be like, hello, I'm Heather. Or you can be like, hey guys, just wanted to kind of introduce myself a little bit. It started on a crazy fall day in 1988 when my mom had 2 twins. Like, it's a little intense, but let's bring it back to the Cookie College. We started the Cookie College when Corey jumped into cookie decorating and realized there's a huge gap in the market here. People weren't charging their worth, and it had to change. And we figured, heck, maybe we can help. By designing these courses around the sole goal of helping people make more money, the twins, what we've been lovingly named by 30,000 members strong in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, you can see how much longer that's got to be, right, to get to the punch. But storytelling formula is telling a story around a product. It is a lot longer. So when you think a long form copy, you're going to want it to fall into a storytelling formula. Storytelling works because everybody likes a good story. I myself am loving a good story. You tell me a story, man, I will watch Mid-Air Disasters and then I'm going to listen to it. It's just what I like. Scooching along here. This is my sister's new cat. He doesn't like people, if you couldn't tell. How much does it cost? The current cost of the Cookie College is $68 a month or $680 a year. That gets you 2 months free. Cancel anytime. In fact, for the monthly memberships, if you cancel halfway through your billing cycle, you get a prorated refund. The yearly membership is just a little bit different because it has that 2 months free at the end. There's a lot of information in the college. In fact, that's our number one complaint. There's so much information here. Where do I start? Just like great copy, you start with a goal. I never expect anyone to listen to me in every one of those 50 classes, except for we had one member do it. Rose did it. She did it in 2 months. And she said, like, no, I really just sat down and took the classes I wanted to take that moved me closer to my goals. I took the classes then after that I knew pretty much already, want to make sure I didn't miss anything. And then at the end, I just took the classes that I didn't necessarily need because I just wanted to understand what they were saying. But just like copy formulas, start with a goal and take the classes that move you towards that goal. As you knock at that goal, go back and reassess your goal and find out which classes fit. I can always help you there. Lord, 10 minutes over. We're so close. Urgent, unique, useful, and ultra specific. The 4 use. Join me on Facebook Live tonight to learn about Facebook's new planner app. It can help you save more time baking. I'll tell you everything you need to know about that and the Cookie College, where you can learn more about all things marketing. You see, that one was like, hey, this is tonight. You need to take it. You're going to learn everything, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. You got that really quick content. Now, this does really well on Twitter. Twitter has a character limit. I think it's under 250 characters now. You can accomplish this in text as short as a tweet. Like I said, it's got to accomplish these 4 goals: urgent, unique, useful, and ultra specific. Join me on Facebook Live tonight. Urgent, unique, okay, so you can learn all about Facebook's new planner app. That's very specific, right? Useful, help you save more time baking. And ultra specific, I'll tell you everything you need to know about baking. So we kind of blended those last 2 at the end. We have to fit those 4 goals. Otherwise, we're going to end up back at the AIDA, which I do like, but it's not short and urgent. We want a sense of urgency. We need content to be unique. We need it to add value. I'm giving you something. Hey, watch tonight about copy and learn more about the Cookie College. And then we need to be really targeted. I'm talking only to bakers. Anybody else, except for Tempe, don't listen to this. We're only talking to bakers. So you get that very specific sense of thing. But what about the other people, Heather? We'll get them in a different post. You guys got to understand, can't make one post work for everybody. We need one post to work really well for somebody, and those people will take that action. Patty says, I really dislike long-form copy. I much prefer the 4 C's. Patty is correct. Long-form copy is interesting because the tactic is to get you to keep engaging and scrolling. If someone engages that much with long form copy or reads an entire email without unsubscribing, you've kind of vetted them that they must be interested, and you can start that remarketing process. Now, you don't see us using long form copy too much. You see me writing long form explanations constantly. I am wordy. So where can I sign up? I'm about to let you guys go. I'm so sorry for taking up too much of your time. TheCookieCollege.com. You can check out the membership, what's included, what you might want to learn, what you might like see on the docket that you say, oh, I'll sign up down the road because I really want to learn that thing. Go to that link. I'll just type it right here so you guys can get it. Well, actually, you know what? I can just kind of show you right here something. Membership. Okay, here's the Cookie College membership. Here's kind of a preview of what you get. We have the Cookie College right here. You can choose the plan. Again, you can do that annual. Scroll down here, but I think I have a preview of what the classes kind of look like. Yeah. Who did that cool intro, Heather? So you get to take a cookie class live with us. I did record those poor souls. I told them ahead of time.
If there's one thing we talk about on social media, it is social media and all the platforms that come with it.
We have
this
real recordings
is
now.
From the beginning intro to how to set up accounts. Space. When you see my final photo, we're going to be focused.
Oh my goodness, who's this doing a screen share? I like the screen shares. So now it's a cookie class. You can see this little camera. Okay, so that is it. If you guys want to see that, you can search that right here. As always, you can always ask me questions. Patty has a question. Let's do this one. Sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but you offer something $10 a month for downloads that anyone can buy even if they're not a member. Could you tell us what that is and the intended purpose of it? Yes, that is a digital downloads. That was requested by a lot of people who said, hey, I just don't want to buy into the Cookie College just yet, but I also don't have time to post on social media. What do? So I'm going to show you actually what those look like. Instagram.com. You get 12 posts each month, and they're kind of themed out for what comes up. Sometimes it's 12 posts, sometimes it's 24, depending on what the holiday is. We're in a weird month. If you look at these on mobile, they're all squished together, and they look pretty cute. I give you the Canva free, so you can edit these on Canva, or you can edit them in Photoshop if you're a little bit more flashy. And then we also did green last one because we did football stuff. So you can change out these photos, you can change out the font, and just click export. I walk you how to do everything. Now, why would anybody want this? You don't have the money to invest in Cookie College. You also don't have a lot of time. So you're saying, hey, I just want something that's cute that I can post to social. You get 3 posts a week for 4 weeks each month for $10. Again, the Cookie College does include this. But if you just want your social media, just do this. You can plug and play. And when you look at them on social media, they all connect pretty cute. Here was our Christmas set. Here was our Thanksgiving set. We kind of did in every other grid. And then here for Halloween, they all speak to each other. So this creates a backdrop of a spooky Halloween thing. And on the last day, you say Happy Halloween. And then we have September. So if you sign up for the digital downloads today, you actually get all the digital downloads from when we started back in September. Just download the template. Just go through them all and download them, you do it. And then the first week of each month, you'll get the new set. Okay, thanks for watching and writing. 15 minutes over. 15 minutes over, not the worst. But if you guys have any questions about the Cookie College, you know where to find me. You know where to add Corey Mira. That's a profile she's currently scooting under the rules for, because apparently she gets in too much trouble with Corey Miracle. But I want to say thank you guys so much. Watch this replay. Ask me any questions. Copy is one of those skills that will pay for itself and then some. Can you hire someone to write your copy? Yes. Will we? Yeah, that's what I'm doing in a month and a half. Will I be writing some of the copy for people? Yes, but that doesn't put money in your pocket. But yes, I'll be happy to get you addicted to the Cookie College so you never want to leave. That's my goal. But I also want to challenge you to do it yourself, because Cookie College is merely training wheels. Everyone's got to graduate college eventually. And if you guys learn how to write really great copy that gets your audience interested in buying from you, my job is done. My job as an instructor is done. Okay, kids, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you on the podcast or annoy you in the group or something like that. You guys know. I'll be there.